This is the Hollywood Outsider. I am your host, Aaron Peterson. With me today are my What's so funny about me?
I am your host.
I'll be your host, Aaron Peterson. With me today are my co-host, Justin Mocumber.
Well, you put a racial spin on that I wasn't quite implying, but how are you doing?
Doing great. And Brian Bo Williams. I don't know.
How to do?
We are the Hollywood Outsider. We are a movie and TV show entertainment news podcast. Every week we talk about the newest movie and TV news, what's coming out, DVD, Blu-ray releases. This week we're going to talk about Sherlock Holmes 2 and Alvin and the Chipmunks 3. We review any recent releases, which we don't really have anything to review this week because nothing came out. And each week we talk about a topic that's kind of catching ours or our listeners' attention. We're going to talk about our favorite Christmas movies, our top 5 favorite Christmas movies. So that'll be pretty exciting. I mean, each week we also have a flashback DVD, and this week it's going to be Brian's turn.
What?
Raise the Roof, which is a little known or obscure film that hopefully you guys can go find and appreciate that you might have overlooked the first time. We also have a game show or a game question called Stump the Hoe that Justin will be taking over this week. So how are you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Cold. Shit, is it cold?
Don't you live in Texas?
God, yeah, I do. And I don't remember it being this cold this fast. I mean, hell, last week, I think I was wearing shorts and tank tops. And I think if I tried to walk out there wearing that now, I would freeze balls before I got to the end of my driveway. It is cold.
Yeah, it's cold here too. It was actually down to 50 degrees today. So
I think we were in the 20s.
Did you really just say
20s or
that to me? Dude, we're like, they're talking about snow, and they already FEMA sent out a thing to us saying that we should be prepared for harsh winter.
Yeah, but you live in an area of the country where it's kind of expected.
it's kind of notorious for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Midwest does get a little snow here and there. Chicago gets a little snow. So
it's like when people in the Mississippi complain about getting a flood. You get them fucking every year. Don't come crying to me.
I hope
you live in Snow Alley. Down here in Texas, we don't normally get too much snow, especially in December. We actually got a little dusting of it the other day.
Really?
Yeah. I went out to take the trash out. When the garage door rolled up, our cars were dusted in a nice little layer of white. Shocked the shit out of me.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Well, when we get it, generally you can't see outside. So, you know, we have snow blowers, and some people actually have tractors because of all the snow. So let's not get too deep into that. Let's get into the show. We're going to start with movie news. 24 is probably one of my favorite television shows of the last time I've been alive. So they are
the previous times you were alive.
Exactly.
What, the honeymooners?
Exactly. From a standpoint of a movie I want to see made that was a television show, 24 is the one I want to see. And they are finally committing to start filming next spring. And Kiefer Sutherland, of course, is on board because he's not really doing a whole lot because 24 is gone. But he does have a TV show coming out soon. I'm pretty pumped about this. I don't know about you guys. Brian, I know you're a 24 fan. Justin, I think you were a 24 fan too, right?
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
It had its low points.
Like every show does.
Yes. But, you know, with a show like 24 that has a specific formula and a method to it, I felt like the number of times they went to the Arab bad guy, they went back to that well a couple more times than perhaps was necessary. But all in all, when the show was really hitting, that show was really fucking hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you guys excited to see a movie, or you kind of just want to let it go with the show?
I want more, but I'm just hesitant to take on a movie, I guess. I kind of think it's done. Just let it be, let it breathe. But, you know, I will, if they do end up making it, then I'll definitely see it, but I'll watch it with bated anticipation, I guess.
Okay.
Jack Bauer's a cool character, you know, and I would love to see him given another opportunity to display all of his badassery. I don't know though, really, when you're in the movie world, we've already got Mission Impossible, and I know new Jason Bournes will probably be coming out. What will 24 have to offer the theatrical world that it's not already getting well served by other franchises? We'll have to see.
Well, I, for one, will be there as soon as it comes out, so. Yay!
I just want to make sure he's torturing guys with electrical cords and whatnot. 'Cause
And
that's what he
American-
does, and he does well.
And American accents.
Hmm.
Exactly. Okay, well, that's 24 the movie, so look forward to that. And apparently they are making the movie in the span of 24 hours. It's not going to be like 24 hours long. It's going to be like a 2-hour movie that takes place over the course of 24 hours.
I was going to say, because they better have a couple of intermissions, because I'm definitely going to need a potty break during some of that.
They are also talking about remaking Starship Troopers, which is the flick that came out probably 15 years ago. And Justin's breathing a sigh of probably not relief.
No.
But it's being written by the writers of X-Men, First Class, and Thor. So that part makes me a little happy, but I don't know if I really want to see a 3. I do like Starship Troopers. I really want to see if they stick to the property. But they made a couple of really shitty straight-to-DVD movies after the first one. I don't know.
If you want to see good Starship Troopers, the first film was okay. I like. If you're a fan of the book, which I am, the book was written by Robert R. Heinlein, and the book was a much more serious take on war and what a future civilization might be like regarding war and the military and people serving and having their service be a part of their citizenship. And the movie took the basic premise of that book and gave it a quirky kind of 40s and 50s feel. And that was fine because it did it in an entertaining way. And I enjoyed what they did with it. But if they're going to revisit this property, why not go back to the book? Why redo the movie? The movie did what it did and did it well. It doesn't need to be done again. There's new special effects aren't really going to be that much more impactful. And I mean, how can you improve on what Casper Van Dien,
really?
Yeah, did in the first film. All I'm saying is that they made a series of cartoons, these CGI cartoons that were Starship Troopers, that were kind of an amalgam of the movie and the books. So it was kind of a middle ground. Those, I wish they would actually do more as a film.
I really didn't even realize it was based on a book, to be honest with you. I just thought it was a pretty decent movie that I ashamedly admit to be entertained by. I don't want to go as far as saying I liked the first one, but there is something just tragically bad, I guess, about the fact that I do stop on it anytime I come across it flipping channels.
I think it's actually a good movie. I
Yeah,
mean,
don't be embarrassed. Paul Verhoeven makes a good movie. Well, not every movie he makes is good.
Yeah.
But he makes some pretty decent films. I mean, RoboCop was fantastic. Loved Total Recall. I enjoyed Starship Troopers. I even like Showgirls to a certain extent. The guy makes good movies. You shouldn't be embarrassed to like it.
Well, I'll stop on that movie for different reasons.
Yeah.
Well, that is.
But
coming.
again, this just gets back to what I said last week about the fact that we're already remaking 90s movies. We're already remaking 2000 movies. So let's hurry up. Let's remake whatever we're going to remake. Get to something so we can get some originality back into Hollywood. So,
well, speaking of originality, M. Night Shyamalan. I hate his name. His next film is 1000 AE.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Yep. His next film is 1000 AE, in which humans no longer live on Earth because it's deemed inhospitable. And it's going to star Will Smith as a hero who crash lands on Earth with his kid, who's going to be played by, his kid, Jaden Karate Kid Smith. Apparently Dad isn't a hero, so it's up to his kid to save him. None of this sounds good to me. None of it. Zip. Zero. I don't like M. Night. I'm sick of his whole career has just gone into the toilet as far as I'm concerned. Will Smith. I love Will Smith. I don't like Jaden Smith, and I'm really sick of his determination to make his kid a superstar.
Yeah. I'm tired of him pushing him on us.
Yes. and I really feel it's almost, I mean, the kid's fine. He's got a little charisma. He's not bad, but it's just all right, kid, you didn't really have to work for this. You know what I mean?
Earn your place.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically you're getting handed multi-million-dollar movies, and you're all right, but you're not great. And now we got to see him and his kid in a movie with M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. I like that name better. That's what I'm going to stick with.
I still kind of like M. Night. I mean, he's failed on multiple occasions, but the guy also produced two of my favorite films. And I actually thought the movie he produced, that Devil, I actually found that one, pretty entertaining.
I think he's failed on a spectacular level. And
I can't agree. On a spectacular level,
his last few movies have just been
when you
wow.
set the bar with the Sixth Sense
and Unbreakable. I'll give him Unbreakable
and
too.
well, yeah, but I mean, no, but as far as setting the bar, it was set with the Sixth Sense. Unbreakable came pretty damn close to reaching it, but the bar was set with that first movie, and it's been as far as I'm concerned, a tragic fall ever since Unbreakable.
Yes, it started with The Village, and then Lady in the Water, and then
it's like watching those guys run in England. I think it's England or somewhere over there across the pond, where they got the cheese. They roll the cheese down the hill, and you see the guy running, and he's doing pretty good till he gets about midway, and then all of a sudden just falls on his. He's just doing, rolling over, boom, 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 till he breaks his neck down at the bottom. And I'm hoping pretty soon M. Night breaks his neck or regains his feet and just makes something miraculous. But
well, and that's the thing. If we don't give him an opportunity to find his footing again, we'll never know. Because you're right. The Sixth Sense was amazing. I think Unbreakable in its own way, it was even better.
Right.
I thought The Village was all right. I had a few issues. Signs sucked ass. Hated that movie. And I actually never saw The Lady in the Water. So.
Well, you're missing out on something special, let me tell you.
Well, but Avatar was a fucking turd.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have seen him at his best and at his worst. I think the guy has enough talent and a gift that we should not completely close the door. But unfortunately, if he's tying himself to Will Smith and his son, that doesn't necessarily make me think he's on an upward trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
And for the record, you mean Avatar: The Last Airbender?
It's the last Airbender.
Yes. Not the James Cameron 3D Blue People movie.
Right. I was thinking the cartoon and not the movie.
Right.
Well,
no, I know. I just
it's called
for
it is
the
Avatar.
Thousands of listeners out there. I just wanted to
exactly
clarify that.
I think it's hundreds of thousands right now.
Because James Cameron's Avatar
Dozens.
kicked ass.
That's
So
true.
let's not confuse that.
I liked it. I don't know if it kicked ass for me personally, but well, that's what's coming on with Shyamalama Ding Dong. Sequel news. And now I'm going to try and do these kind of like bullet points. So we can talk. I'm going to go through them and then we'll talk about them when we're done. How's that? Just because there's several of them.
Hit it.
All
Works
right.
for me.
Here's a bunch of sequel little tidbits. Bradley Cooper confirmed there's going to be a Hangover 3, but they're not going to stick to the previous structure. So basically the whole wake up mystery, figure out what happened, there's a demon in me, formula from the past movies is not going to apply to this one, and they're going to go a different direction, but with the same guys. Grown Ups 2 is in the works, which means we're going to get more Adam Sandler, more Chris Rock, more David Spade, more Rob Schneider, more of the same guys that Adam Sandler always hires. Benicio del Toro, he dropped out of Star Trek 2 because they couldn't agree on money, which that's code for I want more than you want to pay me. But RoboCop's Peter Weller popped in because he's substantially more affordable. Lincoln Lawyer, if you guys saw that with Matthew McConaughey, is getting a sequel. It's going to be called Lincoln Lawyer 2 at this point. And McConaughey is supposed to be coming back for the role, which is fantastic. Patty Jenkins, she exited Thor 2, so she will no longer be directing Thor 2, but supposedly she will be involved in some Marvel property at some point. She's the director of Monster. And the last one, dear God, is Michael Bay is negotiating to return to the Transformers franchise for Transformers 4. Because there are so many unanswered questions from 1 through 3. Boom! How's that, huh? Anderson Cooper, suck this.
If they can keep Jason Statham and put him with Michael Bay in a Transformers movie, day one, baby.
Yeah,
I will be their ass in seats.
I will be the dork camping out for tickets.
Now, would you guys go regardless to that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I won't bitch about it as much as Shia LaBeouf, being in it.
I'll bet you they can. If Michael Bay's in it, I bet they can coax him back. Because if he's got a couple movies and they don't take off, he'll be back. He needs that paycheck.
I don't want him back. Bring on Jason Statham.
Oh, I hope that happens.
Yeah. I don't want Shia LaBeouf in it. I'm sick of that bastard.
What do you guys think about Hangover? Are you glad that they're going to go a different direction with it, or are you kind of like, all right, you did the 2, let's just call it a day?
I fell for the second one. I won't fall for the third one. I don't care what direction they're going with it. I will wait till it comes out on DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Hangover 2.
I'll wait till I see trailers. But really, dudes, come on.
No,
Bradley Cooper, don't you have like an A-Team 2 to be gearing up for or something?
No, it didn't do well enough. I would love to see A-Team 2.
I would too.
But he did concede his Sexiest Man Alive to Ryan Gosling, even though that doesn't mean he gave it up. But he said, oh yeah, Ryan Gosling is sexier than me.
Ryan Gosling went on the cover of the magazine.
Yep. And Del Toro dropping out of Star Trek 2, I don't really care about that because I really don't care if he's in it or not. As long as J.J. Abrams is making it, that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Grown Ups 2, wow. That's all I got to say.
Snore.
I like the first one. I don't want to see the second one. Okay. Well, that's it for sequel news. But how awesome is Lincoln Lawyer? They are also talking about doing a TV series without Matthew McConaughey. So
Never saw the movie.
the movie's actually pretty good.
Yeah, the movie. That was one I was kind of surprised by this year.
Yeah, very pleasantly surprised. So
And
I'm not a lawyer fan.
I could see a sequel though with that one.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just another case, basically. Okay. David Fincher is pissed that David Denby of The New Yorker broke the embargo and reviewed The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo early. And it was actually a good review, and he was still pissed about it. Because he feels that sets a bad precedent, essentially. And when they screen the movies early, I guess for some people they don't realize how this works. When critics see a movie, they'll see it a few weeks before it comes out, but they sign an embargo when they get there to say that we're not going to review this movie until X date. And then that's when you'll see all the reviews come out at the same day. For a movie like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's a big film, so they don't want to take a risk of bad publicity or too much plot information getting out there beforehand. So they want to make sure that people don't do anything until the date happens. Well, this guy already put the reviews up on The New Yorker and broke the embargo. So David Fincher is very pissed about it, even though it's a good review, because, that's...
Sue his ass.
I don't blame him.
I would. Yeah, I actually at first, when I first started reading it, I was kind of like, whatever, quit whining, you bitch. But then it's, but I was going into that thinking, okay, well, have them sign something beforehand or, some sort of agreement saying that you won't say anything until this date.
Mm-hmm.
But you do that and you break it, then you're an asshole. I don't care if you work for the New Yorker or not, You're an asshole. You shouldn't have done it.
Absolutely.
Sue his ass.
Sue his ass, or hire fucking Brad Pitt 10 years ago to come beat his ass. One of the two. Do something.
Well, these companies that produce these films put together probably a pretty intricate publicity package, and they're trying to craft the time and the reviews leading up to the release of the film to generate as much, money and press as possible. And when someone just decides, screw it, I don't care what I signed, I'm going to go ahead and do what I want. Well, then that throws off potentially the hard work of all these other people who are depending on you to do what you said you were going to do. So I don't care if it was a good review or a bad review. There are people who try to handle these things, and when someone comes along and fucks with it, that's not fun. No. So fuck this guy.
And the article, which is at Miami.com, you can find it there. But the article is actually very, very in depth because it goes into why exactly that's a problem and the business aspects of it, and it actually causes a lot of problems for them. So they put a lot of money and time and a lot of people's jobs right on marketing it properly and everything else. So it's very, I see where he's coming from, and he's actually being very level-headed about it. I think he actually said that he would prefer to not screen it for critics ever. But, he realizes it's a business. So he honors that because that's expected. And, He expects.
Well, and
the
if
same
you
emotion.
don't, then critics get their fucking noses in a twist.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And all of a sudden they want to piss all over your movie just because they didn't get to see it.
I didn't get to see it for free. This movie sucks. Which unfortunately happens a lot. Okay, John Lasseter was talking to Charlie Rose, he's an interviewer, that Pixar's next film is going to be directed by Up's Peter Docter. It's going to take place inside the mind of a little girl, and it's going to be about her emotions as characters, and that is something you've never seen. That's
Yes, I have.
You have?
Psychonauts.
Oh, fair enough.
Sorry, wrong podcast.
Yeah, wrong
I apologize.
podcast. Wrong podcast. I think it's actually a very clever idea, and if anybody can do it, I think Pixar can do it. And if it's the same guy that did Up, I'm on board.
The opening of that movie, just hearing the music still makes me tear up a little bit.
The prologue or whatever, the first 10 minutes where it's telling the story of him and his wife.
Yeah, that little introduction, it'll definitely get you.
Exactly.
He's got a lot of talent.
Absolutely. Moving on, Indiana Jones. They are talking about yet another one. Well, Steven Spielberg's talking about it, that George has an idea and he promises no aliens, and then Harrison's still willing to do it at 70 years old. I'm willing to give it a shot just to make up for the last one.
I don't know. I'm one of the few people who actually didn't shit all over the fourth one. Yeah, it had its problems, but still indie. I'll give it the benefit, but shit, he's just getting so old. When he was young and fit, it was believable that he could go tromping through the desert and the jungles doing all this shit, but now he looks like he should have a life alert badge hanging around his neck.
He's starting to look like the worn leather jacket that he wears.
He's looking
Wow.
like the goddamn knight in the chamber with the Holy Grail now. I mean, choose your cup. I don't know. They should have left.
He
well
chose
enough
poorly.
with 3. He definitely chose poorly.
Is that
I don't know.
Is that a Callista Flockhart joke?
That too. You can go there too. Well, I'm interested to see what they do with it. I mean, if they think they can pull it off, and he promises no more swinging monkeys or aliens, I'll give it a shot.
Going to be on
What's that?
when Shia is supposed to be taking the reins.
Yeah, but I don't
Is he
think
going to be back too?
I don't think that worked out as well as they'd hoped. So I think Shia would still be in it because they want to do I think Harrison Ford likes the family dynamic part of it. And by the way, when's Indiana Jones going to hit Blu-ray? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. The fourth one is, but not the 1,
Yep.
2, 3.
Not the good ones.
They should just stop it. Let Uncharted be made into a film, and let that carry on the Relic Hunter crown.
Well, they're redoing Tomb Raider, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay, that's it for movie news. We are gonna look at some trailers. We do this every week. We didn't do it last week simply because there wasn't anything worth looking at. So this week, every week on thehollywoodoutsiders.com, you can click on the trailers current episode tab and find the most recent trailers that we're talking about in this episode. This week, the first one that we saw is called Lockout, and it stars Guy Pearce. And we kind of base what we're talking about with these trailers on what we see in the trailer. And I tell you, the trailer, basically he gets the shit beat out of him a lot. And there's something going on in space. I don't really know. I didn't really get much more than that from the trailer. What did you guys see from it?
That was about it.
It looked good. I mean, I'm always up for a space romp, no matter who's in it or what it's about. But it genuinely looked interesting, but they just didn't really give enough details to give a context of what does this guy who's getting, his face punched in have to do with all the space battles and the things he saw going on. I have no idea how those two things relate at all.
The only plus side I saw to the whole trailer was Guy Pearce. He's finally cleaned up and looks like he's ready to be a hero. Only he's in a chair getting his ass beat.
The special effects reminded me quite a bit of Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, it looked very and not necessarily in a good way because it looks like a TV show special effects. You know what I mean?
Kinda, but the trailer I saw was a really poor quality, so I am not going to judge how it looks based on that video.
Well, it's something to keep an eye out for. I don't think it's anything. It wasn't enough to sell me on. Yeah, I got to see it, but I definitely recommend everybody check that out at thehollywoodoutsiders.com. The other one that just came out today, woohoo, is the Three Stooges. The Three Stooges being made into a film with new Stooge guys, and it comes out next April. What did you think? Boo? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I thought Boo kind of summed it up.
You know, I'm probably going to anger some people. I hate the Three Stooges.
What?
I have hated them since I was a kid. I do not, and probably will never understand why people find them funny.
Fat guy fall down. Fat guy fall down.
Why are YouTube videos of skater punks falling and cracking their nuts on a rail funny? We love to see.
They're funny because those people are actually doing these things that are hurting themselves. The Three Stooges, it's an act. They're not really hurting each other. It's not real life being enacted in front of your face. These are people who are miming, hitting each other and poking eyes. I don't find it funny. I've never found it funny. And when I was reading,
slapstick is great.
I like certain slapstick, but not this. I've never liked this mindless, I'm just going to poke your eyes and that is funny. It's not funny. I don't know what it is, but ever since I was a kid, people around me have just laughed their asses off at the Three Stooges, and I just looked around like, what am I not getting? Why am I not laughing? And I will laugh at a lot of shit. Probably too much stuff. My wife quite often looks at me like, you really find this funny? Because I laugh a lot. Three Stooges, I don't get it. And that trailer looked like shit.
Yeah, I didn't think it looked very good. Everybody will get to hear it because we're going to play it for the trailer break. But it looks like the Three Stooges, but I think the Three Stooges are a product of its time. I sincerely do. I think slapstick works in a comedy, but only intermittently. A whole movie based around slapstick nowadays, I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to see it work. Brian, do you think it works at all from what you saw?
The movie or slapstick in general?
The movie.
No.
Okay.
I totally agree with you. I think slapstick is more of an ingredient instead of the whole course.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Julia Childs.
And then Snooki showing up at the end, fucking seal that deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
when you see the trailer, you will see fucking Jersey Shore show up. Which automatically takes any movie down. And you're talking about a movie that already had a low IQ, and now it's going further.
The guy that plays Curly, though, hasn't he played Curly in another movie before, or maybe a comedy act or something?
I think he's played that type.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is.
I think he used to be on Mad TV or something.
Yes.
Right. That's right.
He usually plays the bumbling fat guy.
Gotcha.
Filled that role.
I don't know. Like in Lethal Weapon, when Mel Gibson's character had that whole, I hated it in that movie too. I hate the Three Stooges. I hate them.
Communist.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. Do you hate the Little Rascals too? Do you hate children?
I never watched the Little Rascals enough to get a like or a dislike for them. They're just slapping each other and poking themselves in the eyes, and the occasional pie. Okay, a pie on the face, that's kind of funny. I can get that. But and Mo was, forget it. I could go on forever saying the same bullshit. I don't like it.
This is like deeper than politics for Justin. That's pretty funny.
If there is a hell, this movie's playing there, and I'm in a fucking Clockwork Orange chair.
You know it's gonna make like $100 million, right?
Fuck this world.
They'll make 3 of them. Huh.
Just to spite me.
Yuck, 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 yuck. So the next movie, and the last one, though, the trailers we saw, is The Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
Yes, and I've been waiting for this movie for a long time because it's done by Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard, who Joss Whedon obviously is on Buffy and Firefly and Angel.
And so is Drew Goddard. A lot of people don't seem to be getting that. Drew Goddard has done Angel. He worked on Firefly. He worked on Buffy. He's worked on a lot of stuff.
And he's more the writer, where Joss is the writer and producer. But
Well, but Drew Goddard's directing it too.
yes, he's directing it too, and it looks interesting. And I really thought it was going to be something completely different when before I saw the trailer.
Well, from the title, it sounds like, all right, we're getting like an Evil Dead movie.
That's what I thought it was. Yep.
And it is not.
No, it's not. Sorry, Brian. Go ahead. I keep cutting you off.
No, I was just thinking like, Wrong Turn, something like that. And I kind of like, it looks like they're kind of mashing up a couple of different genres.
Yeah, it does. It looks like kids heading to a cabin in the woods for fun party time. Then the government's involved. There's some science fiction involved. There's some time portal or some kind of force field or something. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's like Cube meets, Evil Dead. Don't know what the fuck is going on. It looks like a mind bender, and I cannot wait.
And it's clever. And it's got Thor in it.
That's his brother.
No, that's Chris Hemsworth.
Is it Chris or Liam?
No, that's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
Thor.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
I was
Thor.
actually surprised to see him in the role.
Yep.
And the other guy, there was another guy in the trailer, young guy. He was on Dollhouse. Joss
Oh,
Whedon's show, Dollhouse.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough.
He played the scientist head guy at the Dollhouse.
Very cool. So
Favorite part was was when Hemsworth was like, we need to split up. And the guy was
Really?
like, really?
Yeah, it looks entertaining. Please check out the trailer. That's one movie I would like to see take off in terms of buzz, because it's one that's kind of been sitting on a shelf for a while because they said that they didn't know how to sell it, which obviously from the trailer looks like they're still having a hard time, because I don't know what the fuck it's about, but it looks good. It looks
The
like something I
poster
wanna see.
is badass.
Yeah, the poster's badass. It's basically the house. It's a cabin all twisted and
Like a Rubik's Cube.
like a Rubik's Cube. Yeah, very clever.
But I hope they kind of just stick with what they're doing with that trailer, because I don't know what to expect going into there. And that's kind of one thing we always seem to bring up is, don't tell me the whole movie in the preview. Just give me enough to, pique my interest, and I'll take it from there. So
I'm on board, man. I would love, this is one I would just love for them to this is fine. Just give me another one of these, maybe expand it a little bit, and we'll go from there.
Do we know when it's due out?
It's supposed to come out next spring. No date yet.
Okay.
So keep an eye on it. It'll better be playing when the Three Stooges is playing. Nobody will go see this one. Everybody will go see Three Stooges. That's usually how it works.
Please don't let that happen.
Don't let that happen, America.
Don't let that happen.
That's it for movie news and trailers. So make sure to check those out at our website, thehollywoodoutsiders.com, trailers current episode. If there's something you would like us to talk about in the news section, you can email us at feedback@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Moving on to the big screen, we're going to talk about the movies that are coming out. This is the part where we normally review any new releases, which we promised we'd go see Hugo. We didn't. But
Dicks.
but if you'd like to hear about Hugo, listen to last week's episode where Brian actually reviewed it.
I really meant to go see it.
I don't want to hear
It's all right.
you fucktards' lame-ass excuses.
You know what?
I'm so sorry.
I was busy. I don't know what to tell
I
you.
meant to go see it.
Things came up.
Life. It
Life,
happens.
man. It happens.
I hear you. You
The,
guys are missing out, though.
Box office, real quick, just the top 3 movies. The Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 made $16.5 million. That's up to $246.9 million.
Just U.S.
Just U.S. It's made, I think, about $500 million worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
How much money? How much of that do you think Stephanie Myers gets?
I think she gets a healthy chunk. A healthy chunk.
I've got to hit that one Booker franchise to give me my nut.
You'll get it. You'll get it, man. I have faith. I've read your stuff. You're a good writer.
Thank you.
The Muppets made $11 million. It dropped quite a bit, but it's the weekend right after Thanksgiving. Everything drops quite a bit. It's up to $56 million, so it's already made more than its production budget, so there's a chance to get a Muppets 2. Hugo didn't drop very much, made $7.5 million, but it's only made $25 million so far, and the budget was $150 million. So don't bank on a Hugo 2.
Not looking good.
Yeah, not looking good, Scorsese. So that's the box office. Normally I kind of run through a bunch of them, but we decided that bores the shit out of a lot of people, so I'm just going to name the top 3. Very quick mention, the films that were discussed on last week's episode come out on December 9th. Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy, The Sitter, Young Adult, and New Year's Eve. You want to hear more about those? Find episode 18 of The Hollywood Outsider, and we go into more detail. Now, what's coming out for December 16th? There's only 2 movies coming out that
Slim
weekend.
Pickens.
Slim Pickens. But we'll start with the cute one, the family flick. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked. That's the actual title. Chipwrecked.
Chipwrecked.
Chip. Exactly.
Isn't that cute?
Isn't it? It's adorable.
See what they did there.
And it's about the chipmunks and the chipettes. They embark on a little vacation cruise and end up shipwrecked on a deserted island, or chipwrecked on a deserted island, or so they think it's deserted, and shenanigans happen. And
Is there a smoke monster?
I no.
Because then I might go see it.
I hope they do a joke on that though. That would be pretty funny. If you saw the first 2 movies, you pretty much know what to expect. It's the same shit. Nothing's changed, except they do a lot more singing and dancing. It's cute. I don't like it, but if you've got little kids, they might dig it. I don't know. Have you guys seen any of these?
No.
No.
I actually saw the first one on accident. I mean,
On accident.
an hour
You
and
fell
45
down
minute
on it
accident.
and
Yeah.
Couldn't get up.
you couldn't turn a channel.
Nope.
Your remote went missing.
See, I grew up as I was a big fan of the Chipmunks when I was a kid, so they made the movie. I'm like, I want to I'll check it out. And the animation's actually not too bad. And Jason Lee is totally going for the paycheck in this movie. As David. You know, their dad who adopted random chipmunks, which already makes him a little creepy in my book, but he couldn't adopt real children. Hello. Angelina's got a few extras. So, if you guys are looking for a cute little family movie,
Go see Hugo.
Go see Hugo, but
Or the Muppets.
or the Muppets. But if you insist on seeing yet another Chipmunk movie, then it'll come out December 16th. Some people are under the impression that Mission Impossible 4 comes out December 16th. It does not. They moved their release date so they could avoid the next film, which is Sherlock Holmes: Game of Shadows. Who wants to see this? Everybody.
See it on video.
What? Oh, that's right. You didn't like the first one.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
I didn't think the first one was all that great.
Well, that's good. No longer relevant in this conversation. So Sherlock,
Understood.
Sherlock Watson in Mycroft, that's Sherlock's brother, and he actually was his brother in the book, so it's not like they just threw that in there. Are investigating the apparent suicide of the Crown Prince of Austria, and his the small piece plays in a much larger puzzle. All this shit doesn't matter because it all leads to Professor Moriarty. That's what I'm most excited about. Jared Harris, he's kind of a character actor. He's not really a popular actor. He's playing Professor Moriarty, which is, to anybody that's not aware, Moriarty was Holmes' arch nemesis and really the only true intellectual rival to Holmes' genius. So the fact that they finally got him in the movie, I'm amped. I'm amped big time. What about you, Brian? You liked the first one.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was hard to understand some of the, the conversation the first time I watched it, but it was, it's good. I'm anticipating this one. I'm kind of busy that weekend, so I don't know if I'll be able to check it out opening weekend, but, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to be there with bells on. Bells.
Little brass ones that just tinkle so brightly as you walk.
Exactly. Well,
No, I mean, I'll check it out. Like I said, the first one was all right. I really do like Robert Downey Jr. I like Jude Law. I like, what was her name? Adams?
Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. Everybody in it was fine. And I like Mark Strong, who played the bad guy in that one. Just for some reason, it didn't quite hit me in the way that I was hoping that it would. That could be because of the rest of my day was shitty or something. I don't know. I'll check this out when it hits DVD. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. I am interested, kind of like you are, though, about the Moriarty introduction. And I like the guy who's playing him. If any of you guys watch Fringe or Mad Men, he's on both. Or he used to be on Fringe. He's not on that anymore. He is currently, though, on Mad Men, and he's a fantastic actor. So I'm sure he'll handle this role really well.
Really? He's that good?
Oh, I like him quite a bit in Mad Men.
Well, I don't really know him that well, but I'm going to go see it anyway, so it really doesn't matter to me. The only thing I'm leery about is the Mycroft introduction, because I really thought it was kind of a weak point in the novels. It wasn't in there much, but it did come up from time to time. It was more of a mention than really a character. I think they're kind of throwing it in there so there's more for Holmes to play off of, and that kind of stuff always makes me nervous. It's kind of it's that MacGuffin they throw into like season 6 of a TV show. You know, like, oh, now we're going to introduce this wacky character. He's going to keep the lead off balance.
Little cousin Oliver?
Yeah, just shows up like, hey, what's up? And then finally jumps over a fucking shark. So I hope it doesn't become that, because that would make me very nervous. But Moriarty,
too many ingredients in that stew.
Yeah, a little too much. So we'll see what happens. And pick of the week. Every week we pick one of the new releases. Well, this week we've got 2. So I'm going to flip a coin. I'm going to pick Sherlock Holmes as my my pick of the week. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I mean, Game of Thrones. Unfortunately, I'll be
Game of Shadows, you mean?
When it comes out. Yeah, shit. You're absolutely right. That's another thing that drives me crazy about that title. I keep thinking Game of Thrones. I'm assuming they did that on purpose to try and steal a little mind share. I don't know, but fuck, Game of Shadows. I'll be basking in the sun. So fuck it,
Brian.
Yeah, make it a clean sweep.
Okay. Well, if you've got families, you can check out Alvin and the Chipmunks 3, but I promise you they'll love you more if you take them to Sherlock Holmes. Okay, that is it for movie news and new releases. We are going to take a quick trailer break, which basically you're going to listen to the trailer for Three Stooges, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about TV and DVD releases and what's going on with our favorite Christmas movies. But before we do that, we're going to play
Stump the Hoe.
Stump the Hoe is our little game show, I guess, that we do, where one of our podcasters every week asks the other podcasters a question and tries to stump us. So Hoe is us, the Hollywood Outsider podcasters, not actual prostitutes. This week it is Justin's turn. Justin, what is your question?
Some week we do need to get an actual prostitute on the show.
I'm here every week. Go ahead.
All right. This week, because I knew we were going to be talking about the trailer for Cabin in the Woods, I wanted to do a trivia question for one of my favorite shows of all time. I love Joss Whedon. I love what he does. So I went out and I searched for a trivia question for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, not the movie. Lots of actors tried out for lots of different roles on that show. I know Charisma Carpenter originally tried out for Buffy. Sarah Michelle Gellar originally tried out for Cordelia. All sorts of actors came in, tried for different stuff. But one particular actor was offered a role on the show and didn't take it. Ryan Reynolds was originally offered the role of a Buffy character. Which character was it? And I will give you multiple choice.
Okay.
Since that seems to be what we do. Was Ryan Reynolds originally offered the role of A, Angel, B, Oz, C, Xander, or D, Riley?
Oh, wow. Brian, you go first. I actually have to think about this.
Well, I don't have to think very hard because I'm a heterosexual male and I didn't watch the show.
I've got every season on DVD, fucker.
Fuck yeah, I do.
So
I got the Chosen collection.
I rest my case.
Touche.
Make a choice.
I'll go with Xander.
Okay.
I think Xander's the easy answer. I'm going to go with Riley because, you know, Angel, I know the story behind Angel, so I don't think it's him. So I'm going to go with Riley. Okay. Well, that's Stump the Hoe. Right now, take a quick listen to the Three Stooges trailer. Remember, some of it's slapstick, so if you want to see the visuals, be sure to go to thehollywoodoutsiders.com. If you want to suggest a Stump the Hoe question for our podcaster, send it to feedback@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. We'll be back in just a second. Enjoy the Three Stooges.
It was a blessed day when through these hallowed gates a stranger rode and delivered unto them a miracle. This spring,
What is that gadget?
This is an iPhone.
iPhone.
Uh-huh.
Hello? Hello? There's nobody there.
get some mo
Spread out. Mind your P's and Q's.
Don't forget to dot the I's.
Certainly.
Larry,
He's got a headache.
No, I don't.
How about now?
Yeah, it's coming on.
and Curly.
Hey, guys. Yeah.
Oh, hiya, Sister Bernice.
There's something different about you. Did you get a haircut?
From 20th Century Fox.
You got any dynamite? Come here.
The Three Stooges.
Hiya, Snook. I got you a present.
Really?
Yeah, go on, open it.
And that was the Three Stooges. We
Sucked, didn't it?
we are back. We were doing Stump the Hoe. Justin, what was your question again?
All right. Ryan Reynolds was originally offered the role of which of these Buffy characters? A. Angel, B. Oz, C. Xander, D. Riley. And Brian, you chose C as a complete guess of Xander, and Aaron, you chose D for Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go ahead and pass that bouquet of roses on down to Brian?
Oh,
He made a lucky guess. Ryan Reynolds was indeed offered the role of Xander.
wow.
I don't know why he didn't take it, but he didn't take it.
It's probably a better thing for his career that he didn't. Because where's Xander now? Where's Nicholas Brendan when you need him?
Yeah, he's not doing too much.
No.
Do you know he had a twin brother
Yes, and he plays his twin on the show.
in that one
Yep.
episode?
The,
Yes,
the doppelganger episode.
Yep.
Haha, fun fact. How heterosexual are we sounding now, Brian? Hmm?
All I know is that any women listening to this are drying up right now.
I'm telling you, Buffy is so good.
I can't believe you just said that.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
All right. Well, now we go
Yeah,
on.
they like a man who likes Buffy.
Absolutely, because it's a sensitive side. Side. All right. We're going to move on to the Idiot Box, where we talk about TV news and what's been catching our attention on television this past week. First thing that really caught my eye this week was Netflix CEO Reed Hastings predicts that half of all TV viewing is going to be coming from the internet and within 10 years. I actually kind of believe him.
I think he's off. I think it's going to be much sooner than 10 years.
Yeah, I do too. I think he's being a little
conservative.
A little conservative. But what do you guys think of that? Is that something that appeals to? Because I watch Netflix all the time. The only time I watch DVR or television is for like a selective Sons of Anarchy, Psych, and a few other select shows. Very, very rarely do I make an appointment to watch it when it's on television anymore.
Well, I think the time frame is actually probably about spot on, because you're going to need, the big thing is fiber optic.
Yeah,
right
infrastructure.
now.
Yeah.
And there's only a handful of cities. I think there's only like 20 cities in America that have it right now. And there's not many. So it's going to take a while to get that, something of that capacity, out and about to be able to handle something, like constantly watching TV online. So I think that's probably the way it's going to go eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one less thing to eliminate off your countertops, whatever. So he's probably right, but I just can't help but be skeptical about his, I don't know in how he's doing it, but I think it's just got some kind of spin to make Netflix look better and make some of those 2 million customers or whatever it is that's left come back.
Could be.
Yeah, he lost a shitload.
Well, but when you consider Netflix and all of its shows, Hulu and Hulu Plus and all the shows they offer, plus most of your major networks, you can watch most of their shows online through their particular websites. And then you've got iTunes, Xbox, PlayStation, all of which offer downloads of television shows. I have been using a DVR for years. I can't imagine ever going back to watching television as it airs. In fact, I try and think back to those days when I had to program my VCR to record a particular show, and now that just seems like carving, words into a tablet. It is that
Making
ancient.
sure you've got enough room on your tape.
Exactly, making sure that tape is fresh or you're using the proper, it's inconceivable now to think about watching a show the way we used to. And I do watch a lot of shows on Netflix. I do watch a ton of shows on iTunes. So if I could get rid of my satellite, I would, if it wasn't going to be what I was losing wasn't also going to be a pain in the ass to make up for in other areas. I know a lot of people, though, who have given up their satellite and their cable, and they're getting all of their television straight through the internet.
I agree with that. I've seen that a lot, actually. Surprisingly. I don't know.
But I like DirecTV. Let me finish this one just real quick.
Yeah.
What I like about DirecTV is that they offer a lot of options for people. I know if I wanted to watch my shows anywhere in the world on DirecTV, they've got a device that enables me to do it, to watch it on my iPad or my iPhone. I love that you're not tethered to your living rooms anymore. And DirecTV, even though it's a bit pricey, they've got a lot of options that give me a pretty robust way of watching television. Or if I were to give that up, like some of my friends have, and watch all of their TV through their computer, I think maybe the ease that I get makes up for what I pay for it. And that was brought to you by DirecTV. Thank you.
No, I totally agree with you about the DirecTV stuff. They are just doing a phenomenal job of, like you say, you remember a show that's coming on, a movie or whatever, you go, oh dang, I'm gonna miss that later. From your phone or your iPad, you can just go boop boop, set it to record it, and you're done. And I love that about that. I should probably take a look at the shows that I absolutely love, and go to iTunes and kind of do the math and figure out what each episode cost or season.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do that.
And see if I would actually see if I would save money versus, my cable.
Yeah. But there's always those little shows like on like HGTV or Food Network that I don't necessarily have to watch them. But if I'm kind of bored and I just want to, look at something for a little while, there are interesting little shows that I do watch that if suddenly I gave up DirecTV, I probably would not be.
Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Or like House Hunters and those home improvement shows. But,
Right.
maybe a little Real Housewives. I don't know.
Okay.
But the internet's the way everything is going on the internet. And it's only going to get more and more. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to come sooner than 10 years, but because I'm already doing it quite a bit. Every night I pop on Xbox and watch Netflix at least once.
Yeah, but see, those shows don't come around quick enough, do they?
No, I mean, there are some that you don't get the season until like it's been on for like a year, or it's already past a year past when the last season was. But for the most part, I use it to discover a show. So, I'll find a show that I never had time to watch, and bam, it pops up on Netflix, and I can watch 2 or 3, like Breaking Bad. That's one that I intend to watch this, Christmas break because it's on Netflix. And if it wasn't on Netflix, I would never rent it.
All of Buffy.
Yeah, and you can watch all of Buffy, Brian.
Right.
Oh, God.
Or Angel if you want a more manly show. How's that?
I watch Parks and Rec through Netflix.
Yeah, tons of them. I discovered Battlestar Galactica through Netflix. I totally missed that show. And several people had told me to watch it. I said, yeah, I don't want to watch it. That's a total geek show. I ain't watching that shit. And then one day I was bored and I found it on Netflix. And like, okay, I'll watch a couple episodes. Sold. Just I couldn't put it down. So we'll see what happens. They do need to get fiber optics in. There's a lot of revamping the infrastructure they have to do to make this a possibility. But I think we'll get there. We'll see what happens. The days of rabbit ears are gone, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, TNT. This is a real quick tidbit. TNT greenlighted a medical drama from David Kelly, which, he's a pretty prolific TV producer, and Sanjay Gupta, the doctor from CNN and shit. I don't care what it's about. I don't care about anything about it. It's just the fact that Sanjay Gupta is now because he's on CNN and he's a medical whatever. He's a doctor on TV. Now suddenly he's got a TV show.
He's a neurosurgeon. Guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So why don't you say his name with a funny accent?
Because I watch him, so I know how you say it. Sanjay Gupta.
Now, is this going to be a procedural or is it a
Would you like a
talk
Slurpee?
show?
I'm
I'm assuming David Kelly's
it's
in it, so
procedural.
it's a procedural.
It's totally a procedural. Yeah. So they're going for a just a generic TV show, and I'm sure it'll be quirky because David Kelly's involved,
Mhm.
and apparently it'll be very surgically enhanced because of Sanjay Gupta. So I don't know. We'll see. I just thought it was interesting because now everybody has a fucking TV show. I mean, first Kim Kardashian got one. Now the doctor on CNN's got one. I'm waiting for Wolf Blitzer to get his own show. It'll be called Hair. So, it's just everybody that gets on TV gets their own show.
I want one.
I want one too. Apparently, write a book about it. Okay, the NFL. I put this in here because I'm a huge football fan, but also because it's about television.
You're a football owner.
I am a football owner now. I actually own stock in the Green Bay Packers. So what? That's right. And I can go to
Now,
owners'
if you don't like
meetings.
the plays, do you get to call the sidelines? What the fuck are you doing out there, coach?
I think I might. And then I'm just happy because now when I go to the bar or somewhere to watch it and I scream, "Fuck, that's my team," and somebody says, "That's not your team. What do you own it?" Yes. Sit down, fat guy.
Hey, why you gotta pick on fat people?
I'm talking about my family, really, mostly. Don't worry, they don't listen.
I'm not worried. It's your family.
The NFL is closing deals till 2021 to keep football on the air, which is great, and it's to the tune of $6 billion a year. I had no idea they made. I mean, I knew they made a lot of money. I didn't know it was that much money, and that's not merchandising or anything else. That's just television rights. You guys think that's ridiculous or
Yeah, that's
right on?
what the NFL's being paid by the networks.
Yes, total. And that's all networks. That's not just like NBC or ESPN. That's a combination. They're going to be making $6 billion a year in
Yeah.
television rights.
I can believe it.
I didn't know it was
Yep,
that huge, man. $6 billion. That's an industry.
absolutely.
God, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about baseball being America's sport. It is football.
I agree. Baseball's dying. It's dying horribly.
Well, it's because there's too many goddamn games.
That's true. They should cut.
I agree.
Well, you agree? You're a big baseball fan.
No, I'm a big baseball fan, but I totally think it lasts at least 2 months too long. I think it should be, I love it around springtime. When say, February, March rolls around, it's starting to warm up a little bit. The spring training is rolling in and, in the first month or so of games and everything. But then around June, or July even, it's just kind of like it's too hot to sit out there for 3 hours, in 100-degree weather while you're watching a slow baseball, a slow game.
Yeah, you're right.
It is a slow game. That is one of the problems with the game. I mean, I love the game, but it is a slow moving game, and they are doing things to try to, kind of speed it up and what have you and make it more interesting. But, I just think that by the time, say the end of July, once you hit August, people are basically forgetting about baseball. They're looking towards football. They're looking at, college teams are practicing, pro teams are going, they're starting to report to camp, rumors and trades and injuries and that kind of stuff starts to become a little bit more predominant in the news. And, once September hits, it's about football. And then by that time, they could cut out September and October. I would even argue just about August, or at least have the playoffs run into August. But it just drags too long. And then once the season's over, then they have, for some reason, they do the stupid thing where they have like a week where, like one day it's the American and National League, pitcher of the year, and then the next day it's the MVP. And then it's the Cy Young or Golden Glove winner. They drag Rookie of the Year. They drag these awards out for a week. It's like, my God, you're killing yourselves.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. You're right.
I bet you Hank Williams Jr. is wishing he was getting some of this money now. Should have kept his mouth shut.
He should have stopped. I bet he's hanging out with Rick Perry for that fucking commercial. Which, by the way, you guys got to find that. Justin put on his Facebook earlier, but there's a pretty good ad from Rick Perry that I was going to put on the show, but it just didn't fit. But you got to find it because he's talking about prayer in schools and he's equating it to gays in the military, and it's classic. Seriously,
Fucking
classic.
asshat.
Oh,
Move on before I get mad.
He's got no shot. Okay, Alec Baldwin this is the last part of television news. Alec Baldwin got kicked off a plane because he refused to stop playing Words with Friends. This is a true story. He actually got escorted off a plane. He wasn't arrested or anything else, but he was removed from a plane because they asked him to shut off his Word with Friends, and he refused. Because he's Alec Baldwin, bitch. I guess.
Well, I'm not going to defend Alec Baldwin because I think celebrities have this sense of self-entitlement that extends above and beyond what they actually should ever be entitled to. I read the article, and his defense seems to be that they were sitting on the tarmac. The plane was not in motion, and he figured that as long as they weren't going anywhere, he should be able to keep doing whatever it was he was doing. Whether or not that's justified, decide that for yourself. Obviously, American Airlines felt like it wasn't justified, and so they kicked him off. That's their company, their right. I will say that I have grown increasingly hateful of airlines. I cannot stand flying anymore. The entire process makes me feel like I am just being run through the ringer. Airlines do nothing to make it easier. In fact, all they do is make it more difficult and more difficult. It's a much more arduous process than it needs to be. I don't give a shit about how airlines feel anymore. As far as I'm concerned, if he wants to sit there and he has paid his several $1,000s to be in that first class seat, if they're just sitting on that tarmac, since he's paying for, to sit there, let him play his shit until you guys start taking off. But that's just me being angry.
I agree with you. As far as your sentiments towards the airlines, I just about totally agree with you. Years ago, it used to be a fun experience. It used to be kind of a big thing to go take a flight. Now it's just, it's, if I can drive, I'll just about drive instead.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, though, you're messing with the communications and stuff and the, in the functionality of the plane.
That's true.
And if you can't communicate with the tower, you don't know when you can go. So, I got to side with the airlines, unfortunately, and I don't know how he reacted to it. I don't know how much of a dick he was.
Probably not well.
Probably not well if they removed him from the plane.
If you got kicked off, I'm sure he didn't say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just turn this off right now."
Because I'm sure they weren't sitting there going, "You know what? We got a celebrity who's informed us at least 6 times that he's Alec Baldwin. I don't know if we want to forcibly remove him from the plane." And then you realize, oh shit, this fucker is seriously going to make an issue out of it. Security, and bam, there goes the hair out the door. So I am with both of you. I totally agree. I used to travel all the time for work, and I still travel from now and then. And the real job, the one that actually pays, not the podcast. And
what?
Yes.
You mean we're not getting paid?
No.
I thought you just said that it was held up with all the excess cards and stuff in the mail and everything.
It's coming. Just wait. Christmas is around the corner. Oh wait, you already got your present. Nope, you ain't getting shit. The airlines have not made it any easier. Just like Justin has said, it's become a very also like he said, arduous process. And it seems to me that they've taken it to the extreme to where you're no longer the customer. Now we're doing you a favor. It's almost how it
you're
feels.
An impediment.
Yes, you're keeping us down. We're keeping the man down at this point.
Well, and it wouldn't surprise me if they don't start charging you by the pound you weigh, not just your bags, but you as a person. They are doing everything they can to eke every penny they can out of you. And you watch shows like Mad Men or even Pan Am or whatever, and you see how flying used to be. It is now you are a criminal until you get on that plane, and then you are cattle until you get off.
Exactly. They treat you
I do. I drive. If I can make the drive in 2 days, I will sooner drive than fly. Fuck them. I can sit in my car in the comfort and play my Words with Friends while I'm driving.
I'm with you. If it's within an X amount of hours, I will do it. But that's my airline's issue. I have an issue with how they're doing things. That said, I agree completely with Brian. If he's on the runway and you're on their fucking equipment, they tell you to turn your goddamn phone off. Turn it off.
That's true.
I don't give a
That
shit
is
if
true.
you're Alec Baldwin. I don't give a shit if you're President Obama. They tell you to do it. You're on their equipment. Fucking do it. And I don't like elitist shit, and that's totally an elitist thing.
Yeah, I agree.
You think you're very, very important because you're on 30 Rock, which I hate to tell you, you should just be thankful that show's still on because nobody actually watches it, okay?
I think it's funny.
It is very funny, but there's not many viewers. There's
No.
not many viewers. And I think you guys already have a bad rap because Tracy Morgan is fucking your shit up left and right. Stop giving bad press to Tina Fey's genius, okay?
Well, and that just goes to prove how powerful that woman is. Because
that
I don't
show's
think
still on.
anybody's watching that show either.
Exactly.
I watch it on, once again, Netflix.
Absolutely. But you know what I don't get is this guy, he's had a career resurgence, right, because of this show. But he also has this history of his temper being an issue. You would think at some point he would grow up. I mean, he's also the guy, he had problems with his kid and everything else. And he actually wrote a very, very well thought out book that I read on child custody. So he is a very thoughtful guy, not just because he's a crazy liberal, but he's a very thoughtful guy. But the fact that he can't control his temper still, and for something this juvenile and ridiculous, it's just really sad. Really sad. So,
But you know what? We all have bad days.
we all have bad days.
We all don't have the media up in our ass, though, when we have them.
No, I wish they would pay attention. Fuck. I'd storm off the plane. I'm not
No,
playing.
when I'm
I want to
having
play
hissy
with.
fit, I don't.
I'm not giving up this game. I might win. I'm going off the plane.
My birds are angry, and now I am too.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, that's it for TV news. Now we go to Did You See That? That's basically where we talk about anything that caught our eye on TV this week. Kind of a slow week, but I personally, and we'll get to everybody else, but really it's about me. The Sons of Anarchy finale. Watched it. Didn't love it. Just liked it. There's not going to be any spoilers, but Brian and I have both seen it. Justin has not. So please, Brian, be very cautious to not spoil the outcome.
Okay.
What did you think?
I thought it peaked.
I want to watch you guys dance.
With a season finale, there's usually something that grips you at the very end that leaves you guessing, leaves you wondering. It's so basically something that's going to drag you back into the next season to find out what happened. Gosh, what was it? Now, Justin, how far behind are you?
Just 2 episodes.
Okay,
The
so
two-
okay, both of the part 1 and 2. So the last thing you saw was Clay
Getting shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, don't say any more than that.
No,
That's
I won't.
2
I
episodes
mean,
ago.
yeah, I know there's people that DVR and stuff, and I don't, but that to me is something that should have been the season finale.
Yeah.
Because that leaves you going, oh my God.
Yeah.
And even probably midway, I guess, through this 2-part deal, it could have been.
They could have ended at the last, the part 1 finale.
Yeah, right. So it was kind of anticlimactic, I guess. But it was good. Don't get me wrong, it was good.
Were you disappointed overall?
A little bit, yeah.
Because of the build-up, the season had a huge build-up.
I do like some of the stuff that was tied up. I will say there was one of the twist. I didn't really consider too much of a twist. I kind of saw it coming. But yeah, I mean, I was a little bit disappointed, but it was still good. You know what I mean? It was still entertaining. I still liked it. And I just felt like it was the big wow at the end I was missing.
Okay. Now, several people that I've talked to felt the same way. And I did, when I first saw it, it felt underwhelming, but going back and reflecting on it, I thought I liked parts of it a lot. And I really liked how it ended, which I can't go into, obviously. But I personally think it sets up the next season great. But I also think if you think of it in terms of what they're trying to go after with Hamlet, with a Hamlet paradigm, I think it flows really well. I think they're setting it up for an interesting run for the next year or two. So that said, I was a little underwhelmed. Some of the things I wanted to happen didn't happen, but I also think that, I'm hoping they have a plan, because one of the twists that I think Brian is talking about, which we can talk about off the air, but one of the twists that happens is kind of anticlimactic severely. But when you go back, it actually kind of sounds like they were planning that the whole time, but I'm not convinced 100% yet that they didn't just pull that out of their ass, but we'll see. And Justin, I'd like to hear more when you've seen it, because then we can elaborate a little bit more. But all in all, I thought you're right. The previous 2 episodes were really heart pounding. Like the end, you just want to see the very next episode. And this one just ended and you're like, that could have just been the end, really.
Didn't FX order more episodes?
They ordered one extra episode, yes.
For the season. So you kind of have to wonder when they do that into the season, the writers and producers now have to scramble to either extend what they already have to make an episode or add in new shit to make that episode. And that always throws things off. So who knows how that might have impacted the finale.
Absolutely.
I did see the finale, though, for Walking Dead.
Oh, you finally saw it?
Oh, fucking holy shit.
Did you like the end?
Yeah, I did not. I did not see.
Still don't spoil it. 'Cause I don't
coming.
want to do any spoilers on the show, because some people are behind and DVRs like that nowadays. Mm-hmm. So, but did you like how it ended?
I did. I liked it quite a bit. It's interesting that the character of Shane gets killed off in the comic books. So where they're at now is a different place than they were in the comics. His presence is, of course, going to now force them to kind of deviate even further from what they've been doing in the comic books. And so it's interesting to see what they're doing with him. I actually kind of found myself agreeing with him quite a bit, even though he's coming across as kind of manic and unstable. Even from the mouths of the crazy, you can get truth. And there's some things he's saying that I completely agree with, but the final shot of that was kind of gut wrenching.
Yeah, it
didn't
was.
see it coming. And last week's episode of Supernatural got a little tearful too. I didn't see that coming either.
We didn't watch it. So was it good?
Supernatural? Oh gosh, I love that show. This season's not been as good as, unfortunately, the first 5 seasons were created and scripted, by Eric Kripke. And so he had a plan for what those 5 seasons were going to be. And his idea was to end the show after season 5. And of course, it's one of CW's more popular shows. And so when his 5 years were done, they asked one of the other writers, Sarah Gamble, to take over the show and keep it going, which she did last season and this season. Last season, I found more interesting what they were doing. This season, not nearly as much, but even mediocre Supernatural, I find incredibly watchable and enjoyable. And last week's episode was the end of a character, and I was surprised they did it. But I'm always kind of glad when a big character can die off, because that always ups the stakes.
Yes, it does. Anything else, Brian? Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Pretty much that's it.
Yeah, that was pretty much about it.
Okay. Well, we're going to move on to the couch, DVD and Blu-ray, just to let you know what's coming out on December 13th. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Kung Fu Panda 2, Fright Night, the remake, Family Guy Volume 9, and Spin City Season 6. What would be your purchase of the week if you could only buy one? Brian.
Apes.
Apes? Okay. Justin?
As much as I liked Fright Night, I saw it. I will pick it up, but if of the films that are available, I would probably pick Kung Fu Panda 2, just because I really loved the first one. Didn't see the second one in theaters, so of those, that's the one I most want to see.
Oh, I'm going for Fright Night.
I liked Fright Night, and I will buy Fright Night, but I didn't see Kung Fu Panda 2, so.
I can't spend money on Jack Black. It's against the law for me.
Kung Fu Panda was. I went into that not expecting to like it and left it just happiness dripping off my face. You can picture that however you like. It was a fun
Bukkake
film.
is what I'm picturing.
All right, I probably walked into that.
I believe it just kind of writes its own jokes there. So I will just
yeah. I did pick up and finally watch Cowboys and Aliens.
Mm-hmm. You like it?
Because it came out on Blu-ray. Oh, I was bored. I don't know how you can do a movie about cowboys and aliens and make it boring. Somehow Jon Favreau found a way. It seemed rather aimless and rather, I wouldn't say pointless because there was a story to be told, but it just, and I'll have to say I watched the extended version, so that might have upped the boredom factor. I don't know. I'll have to someday watch the theatrical to see if it moves along at a brisker pace. I think the extended cut came out to about 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think I could easily have lost a half an hour, so maybe I shouldn't have watched that version of it first. I wasn't all that impressed.
Okay.
I'm shocked.
What would you give it out of 10?
A 6.
Oh.
I liked everybody involved, but somehow it's one of those occasions where every ingredient you like, but when it gets put together, you're kind of left wanting. And that one kind of left me wanting. I did also pick up Hangover 2. And so my wife and I will hopefully watch that tomorrow or Friday before we head off on vacation. I love the first one. And if it's just the first one redone in Taiwan, I'm thinking I'm just fine with that. We'll see.
Fair enough.
Good luck.
Okay, well now we move on to our flashback DVD. Every week we talk about a little known or obscure film that one of our podcasters can recommend. This week it is Brian's turn. Now Brian basically is going to take 90 seconds and sell us his movie and why he likes it so much and why he thinks you should check it out. Brian, go.
All right. My movie is a movie that is very popular, although I don't know if many people that have actually seen it. I believe I've mentioned this as possibly one of my favorite movies of all time. But the name of the movie is Seven Samurai.
Okay.
And it's about these poor farmers who are basically tired of being picked on by these guys who rate them of all their product and money and women and everything. So they're all about, like I said, they're a bunch of poor farmers, so they don't have much money. So they basically pick a few guys to go into this town and hire a samurai to come help them out. They find one. He basically gets in touch with some friends and some mutual. They hire some other samurai, basically offering to say, hey, look, we can't offer you much other than some food. That's about it. So they get about 6 of them. The 7th one tags along. He actually pretty much steals the show. Toshiro Mifune. He really kind of brings a little comedic element to it. So they organize the villagers, they toughen them up, they teach them how to fend for themselves, and they basically end up fighting back the Vandals, so to speak. So it's one of my favorite movies. It's been an inspiration for basically countless other movies. Probably one of the biggest ones is Star Wars. And also they did a remake of it, an American version of it, turned it into a Western, and that was The Magnificent Seven. So it is black and white. It is Japanese. You do have to read subtitles, but it is a phenomenal movie, and it still holds its value today. So check it out.
Okay. Well, that's Seven Samurai, as recommended by Mr. Brian Williams.
Can I give you 2 pieces of quick trivia?
Sure.
Mifune, the actor you mentioned, there's a character in, you're going to love this, The Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, that's named Mifune in honor of that actor.
Really?
And there is an anime series called Samurai 7 that's available through Netflix instant streaming. That is a kind of an animated sci-fi-ish retelling of the Seven Samurai called Samurai 7. And I've watched it, and it is quite good.
Ah, have to check it out. Some other vehicle other than Netflix.
Look at look at Justin with the Just the Hoe or Stump the Hoe trivia even throughout
Boom.
the show. All right, with that, we're going into our final section, which is From the Outside In. That's where every week we talk about a topic that's on ours or our listeners' minds, which, of course, if you have a suggestion, you can email us at feedback@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. This week, we're going to talk about Christmas because it's right around the corner, right literally around the corner. It's sneaking up. It's probably at your mom's house right now. We're going to go over...
Doing what?
Doing what with Santa? What? We're each going to tell you what our top 5 favorite Christmas movies are. And I think we each have kind of an eclectic taste. You might see some that repeat, but you might hear some that you think, what the fuck? So with that, let's start with Justin. Because if anybody's going to have a what the fuck movie, it's probably Justin.
Now, do you want me to give you all 5, or are we just going round robin?
You go in order. Go ahead, 5-1. And you can tell us why you like it as you go. Just don't take 16 minutes for each one.
Real quick. Number 5, Gremlins.
Nice choice.
It's a fun movie. Takes me back to my childhood. Every time I see Gizmo, I just want to eat him up. He's so damn cute. And it is one of those movies that Christmas is intrinsic to its story, unlike so many others that I could mention and won't because I have before. Number 4, Home Alone. This is a John Hughes movie. I love basically everything John Hughes has ever done or touched. In Home Alone, I know they made pointless sequels. Do not let that dull the fact that the first one was incredibly funny and worthwhile to watch. Number 3 is Scrooged. Bill Murray, I will watch damn near anything that man does. And back then, when this movie came out, it was a really fun, sarcastic retelling, of course, of A Christmas Carol. Enjoy it quite a bit. Number 2, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Of course.
Those National Lampoon Vacation films, all of them rock. This one just as much. Every time they turn on those lights and the nuclear reactor starts charging up, I laugh my ass off. And Randy Quaid is fucking hysterical. I love that movie. Number 1, of course, for me is A Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. That movie has got so many quotes, it's ridiculous. My brother, who was on the show last week, he actually has the Fragile leg lamp at his house, and it is as glorious in person as that sight of electric sex in the window that you see in the movie. It plays all day, every Christmas on, what is it, TBS?
Oh, yes, all day, every day. All day.
I own it on Blu-ray. I love that film. Unfortunately, I was never one of those people who watched It's a Wonderful Life. I've seen bits and pieces. I've never actually watched the whole thing through. For my generation, A Christmas Story is the Christmas movie, and it probably always will be.
You've never seen the movie all the way through?
No, I never have. I've never been a Jimmy Stewart fan. It's a personal failing on my part. I am aware.
Wow.
I don't dislike him. I've just never watched enough of his stuff to, be a fan.
Okay, now recap.
Wow.
Or we'll recap at the end. Brian, what are your top 5?
My number 5 is actually a tie with Die Hard and Lethal Weapon.
That's 2 movies.
Same reasons. I mean they're good action movies, but for some reason I know Justin. According to Justin, Christmas isn't very important, but to me they are.
It's not pivotal to the plot, is what Justin's argument is. Yeah.
So, but
I have gotten in arguments with plenty of people over this. I know I am alone.
If I watch it in May, it just feels wrong. But if I watch it in December, it feels right. So that's all I know.
Okay.
4 is A Christmas Story for a lot of the same reasons. And I was actually going to bring up the point about the lamp. I mean, who didn't ever want one of those lamps? And now that I find out that you actually know somebody who's got one is pretty amazing. So
Fragile. Must be Italian.
Nightmare Before Christmas is one that I like, and it's the Tim Burton movie, and it's just kooky, and I guess just the best line to me is, "What's up there, Bone Daddy?" And it just, I don't know, just the movie just cracks me up. So Scrooged is my number 2. And the end of the movie when Bill Murray finally has the epiphany and all that stuff, and he gets everybody singing that song, it makes me tear up every time. Can't help it.
He gives a great speech.
Absolutely. And the way he's like pointing to the people in the audience, talking to you in the TV, now TV screen, but at the time movie theater, was funny and everything. So, and of course, to me, my favorite is Christmas Vacation. So, shitter's full. So,
that cat.
Yeah. And the speech that Chevy Chase gives at the end of it when he's ranting about his boss is classic. And I would, there are many days at work I just kind of want to, quote that, but, my self-preservation kind of stops me from doing that. So Christmas Vacation is my number 1.
Okay. Well, here's my top 5, okay? And I'm really surprised nobody said Love Actually, but whatever. It's not mine, but Scott Clark would want me to mention that if he was here.
Still never seen it.
You should. It's great. There's a couple great Christmas movies you should see. That one, Trading Places, is a good Christmas movie, which takes place at Christmas, and is very pivotal to the plot. Gremlins, there's a couple of them. Okay, here's my top 5. DOA is my number 5 Christmas movie. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen it, but I'm talking about the remake, the Dennis Quaid remake that is critically panned, didn't make any money. I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
I thought you were talking about the anime chicks playing volleyball on a beach or something.
No, that would be a video game. No, this is DOA, Dead on Arrival. Dennis Quaid, of course, plays Dexter Cornell, who's a writer, Justin, or as a professor, and he is a student that's a writer who commits suicide, finds out he was murdered. There's a whole plot to that, but he's basically poisoned. He wakes up after a long night of binge drinking, and he's a raging alcoholic, realizes that he's been poisoned and he has, less than like 48 hours to live. So he has to spend that time trying to find his killer. The whole thing takes place at Christmas time. So in relation to what Justin is referring to, it doesn't actually, Christmas isn't integral to the plot, but a lot of the things that happen because it's Christmas time. So it's a fucking Christmas movie. And I watch it every Christmas. So I highly recommend that. Meg Ryan pops up as a co-ed student that helps him as he goes. And this is the movie that introduced these two and got them going on their married bliss before she ran off with Russell Crowe. Number 4, Bad Santa. Just because I have a very dark sense of humor, and this movie hits every fucking side of it. It's very wrong and inappropriate, and probably the most What's that? Exactly.
Just like you.
The most anti-Christmas movie I can think of, and it makes me laugh my ass off every time I see it. But it is very inappropriate. Do not watch it with your children, because they will be fucked up for years. Number 3, It's a Wonderful Life, because I want to go the complete opposite of Bad Santa. And also, I have to watch that every year. I love it. Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed, beautiful. Who doesn't want a pool under a basketball court? I can't think of anyone. I'd kill for one.
I want one.
See? Love this movie. And I'm really surprised it's not on either one of your lists.
Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry, man.
Jesus. You'll never see Christmas Story on my list because I do not like that movie at all. Sorry. Don't like it.
How can you not like that?
Because it's not funny. It's just, I think a lot of the jokes are so forced. But,
Oh, God.
Sorry. Number 2, Die Hard. You know why? Because it takes place at Christmas, and it's Die Hard. Basically, the movie kicks ass. John McClane kicks ass. There's a Christmas tree. It's at a Christmas party. It's a Christmas movie. I love it. My number 1 movie, my number 1 favorite Christmas movie I watch is, these are the 5 movies I watch every Christmas. Seriously. My number 1 movie is a very little known movie. Not many people have seen it. I know a couple people that watch it. It's kind of a cult flick at this point. It's called The Ref.
Oh gosh, the Dennis Leary movie.
Yes.
With Kevin Spacey.
Yes. Dennis Leary, before he got Rescue Me and everything else, and he was kind of at the height of his stand-up comedy career. He plays a thief who ends up having to take a family hostage to get out of town because he can't get out of town until the police clear out because they're looking for him. Everybody's looking for him. He ends up kidnapping Kevin Spacey
Worst couple ever.
Yes, Kevin Spacey and his wife, who are going through some serious marital bliss. They've got a son who's a delinquent. His wife's family is just horrible. Everybody is fucked up in this movie. And basically, they call it the ref because he keeps them captive and he has to basically put on the holiday dinner in order to keep everybody under the illusion that he's part of this environment and not a thief holding them hostage. He basically has to referee their marriage. And through the course of the movie, and the whole thing takes place at Christmas. So Christmas is very relevant to this flick. Through the course of it, I mean, they obviously find out more about each other. A lot of truths come out. It's very funny, but it's also very dramatic. Dennis Leary plays it, he does do his shtick quite a bit. But what he also does is he does the drama parts, the slide drama parts very well. And Kevin Spacey is awesome. This is before he became popular or well-known. And he hits every mark. So I highly recommend checking this out. You guys ever seen The Ref?
I didn't even think of that.
Oh, it's great. So, okay, let's recap. Justin, what are your top 5?
All right, number 5 was Gremlins. Number 4, Home Alone. Number 3, Scrooged. Number 2, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And number 1, A Christmas Story.
Okay. Brian?
5, The Die Hard, Lethal Weapon 1 combo. 4, A Christmas Story. 3, Nightmare Before Christmas. 2, Scrooged. And number 1, Christmas Vacation.
Nightmare Before Christmas is great because you can use that for Halloween or Christmas, really.
Exactly.
It's a nice little twofer.
Yeah, you do it, at Halloween, you take a break over Thanksgiving, you watch it again at Christmas.
Exactly. My top 5 are DOA, the Dennis Quaid remake, not the old one. Bad Santa, It's a Wonderful Life, Die Hard, and The Ref. Those are our top 5 movies each. There's a couple of them are the same, so there's probably a good 10, 12 in there. Let us know. I would like to hear what our listeners what they watch in the holidays. Like, send us an email and let us know what you watch every year with your family or by yourself, alone.
I wanted to list Elf, but I find James Caan so repugnant in that movie. I have a hard time. I watch around him.
See, I find Will Ferrell repugnant in that movie. And I was just about to say, if anybody emails in and says Elf, then I'm pulling your subscriber status. That's.
And
That's a good thing I didn't list it.
I do want to say that if someone emailed from the previous week, email was down. That's the only reason I haven't been able to get into it. So I will, if you have an email in there, I'll read it next week. But if you want to send us what your top holiday movies are, we'd love to read them and let people know what you like. So thanks for that. Those are ours. And with that, that's our show. Is there anything more you guys want to say before we close out?
I won't be here next week. I hope you guys can manage without me. I will understand if you have to take that week off.
That's right. Justin will not be here next week. That's right.
Yeah.
I totally
like you don't have it marked on your calendar and weep every day.
I do. I'm weeping right now.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm actually, trying to work out plans to, join you on your cruise.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Which deck are you on?
Right.
The one you're not.
Well, we will still be here. Mr. McCumber will not be joining us next week, so we wish him a fun trip, though.
Thank you. It'll be my birthday.
Oh, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
We won't see you.
39.
Brian, wow, you got one more to go. One more to go. One more to go.
Don't remind me. My wife is 41. Yes, 41, and she cannot wait for me to join her in the 40s.
You know what I love is I can't tell you how many times you've told me how old you are and how much older they are. You're the same fucking age as me until next week. I'm just letting you know.
You're creeping up behind me. Ew. That's a bad visual.
Well, that depends on your perspective, sir.
That's true.
I'd like to think it's a pretty good visual.
From your perspective, it might be. I do work out.
Well, I'm telling you from mine, it's pretty fucking nauseous. I don't care. I don't care if you're sneaking up behind or the sneaky.
Oh boy, Brian, you got any parting thoughts? Or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, we are the Hollywood Outsider. I want to thank Brian and Justin for being on, as always. You can find us at thehollywoodoutsiders.com. That's thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Or at Facebook.com/The Hollywood Outsider. You can email us at feedback@thehollywoodoutsiders.com. Make sure you tell your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Zune, Google Reader. Listen on your Stitcher radio app. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you do. Or just a plain old RSS feed. Anything. We're available all over the damn place. Yeah, and on Twitter. I always forget about Twitter. H_outsider. We are the Hollywood Outsider. And remember, the next time you go to a theater, buy popcorn.
Decision for me letting you go. No time to visit, I just wanna go home. You're unable to understand that I'm doing the best I can, and all I know is all I'd rather be home. I'd rather be home. I'd rather be home.
Boy.
Good Lord, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Just dragging shit? I mean, are you like on a peg leg now or something?
Arg! So, reboot. When all else fails, reboot. Don't worry, we only do this early for you.
Oh, for you, man. Number 8's rather nice.
From
So
C
I
cup
like
to
it.
shining C cup. Look at that. Sorry, guys. Hey, we still got done before 10.
Sure did. Good job. Even with Brian showing up late and all fucked
Yeah,
up.
I know.
Say,
Even with Brian having to set up his computer while we're supposed to be recording. You know, that's cool. I got a picture that he's just like taking it out of the box going, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Hold up. What made you decide to go Mac?
Mac,
Just
whatever.
because you're a fucking Apple fanboy? Is that how it worked?
Let's not get into that
Okay.
now.
All right. Maybe we should have got into about roughly 7 o'clock. You know, then we could have, just saying.
All right. I'll tell you what.
I'm just
I'll just back
fuck-
out of this and you can do the
Shut up.
podcast. How's that?
Shut up.
Awkward. Mom and Dad are fighting.
I will beat Dad's ass. Wait, that makes the assumption that I'm mom.
Because you're my bitch.
Hard not decision for me letting you go. No time to visit, I just wanna go home. You're unable to understand that I'm doing the best I can, and all I know is all I'd rather be home. I'd rather be home. I'd rather be home. You said my love is blind, I just gotta